Good day and welcome back to another DBZ Dark Metal video. In this video we're going to be taking a look at, well, basically to cut a long story short, the amazing Stage 6 of the Cooperative Special Perfect Battle. So, honestly, these events have been moderately challenging. They haven't been the hardest. I've done most of them with a free-to-play team. I think a lot of people will see that. But what's super interesting is that they decided to basically make one of the missions for this for you to fight one of the hardest bosses in the game, which I do always find absolutely amazing. So yeah, it is obviously super duper fun. So it's called Super Saiyan 4 Duo, and we take on a Super Saiyan 4 Goku, then a Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, and then we are guaranteed to take on a Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta after turn 2. Now if you do not use a Senzu Bean, and if you do not super Goku or Vegeta, they will immediately turn into Gogeta. So you have to super them to prevent them. So if you're wondering how do you get past this, well, there's two ways. So one of the missions is to take on Gogeta, so we will talk about that. And one of them is to clear it with 6 Shadow Dragon Saga category characters as well. So what I've done is I've done this team for Shadow Dragon Saga category, just because I think it's pretty fun. But you can probably do, almost all of these in pretty much one go, with some slight team adjustments. So I don't think it's absolutely impossible to do them all in one go. But the Gogeta part is very hard. If you try to use a Senzu Bean instead of a Whis, you're hoping for a lot of attack nullification, and that's not impossible. It's just not really something I would wildly suggest. But anyway, the main point is that yes, there is definitely 100% a difficulty here. For the first part of the video, we'll be using just a GT Bosses team, Shadow Dragon Saga team, with the Shadow Dragons, using a couple of free-to-play units here, like the Legion of Shadow Dragons and the Strength Nova Shenron. You can use your own Omega Shenron if you want to. You could use a Goku Black team. I didn't use the clone team because there is a little bit of a damage kind of consideration here, and you still need at least 2 turns to get the Goku Blacks going, but you could do this with the clone team. You could do it with them, but then you wouldn't clear the Shadow Dragon Saga mission. So yeah, this is the easiest way to kind of get that done, I feel. You could also just use like a GT Heroes team, as long as they're all from the Shadow Dragon Saga, so it's not like impossible or anything, but it is super interesting. The big caveat is obviously the Gogeta component. So for those of you who don't know, like I mentioned, if you don't super them, or if you don't super Goku, you don't keep the charges up basically by supering, you will have them turn into Gogeta. So that's always a big challenge. Using a Senzu Bean helps remove the ceiling from Goku in the first turn and let you keep them at the Gogeta phase. At the Goku and Vegeta phase. However, there is a mission to beat Gogeta. So what that means is we have to actively go in, actively ensure that Gogeta spawns, and then take him out, which, as you can imagine, is very, very difficult, because the big challenge is Gogeta has a ridiculous amount of damage. So this is Gogeta. Gogeta has 3 million normals, has 12.7 million defense, 77% damage reduction. He does 2 supers a turn, and each super is 8.4 million. He can also evade your attacks, and he has a chance of performing a critical hit of plus 30% when HP is 50% or less. So he's a bit of a pain. However, what is great is that AGL Gogeta is an absolute beast against him. The 2 SEZAs for the Super Saiyan 4 units are great, and honestly it's as simple as pretty much popping a Whis and then running against him. It's really that simple. The team I'm using should have no real issues at all, and honestly it functions fantastically. So let's take a look at the team. We've got AGL Gogeta, we've got friend AGL Gogeta, we've got Strength Pan, free to play. Why are you bringing Strength Pan? Because she is a beast. She has 55% damage reduction and is Strength type. With a Whis, that's 95% damage reduction, and she's going to make our Gogeta hit like a absolute nuclear missile. So that is very, very important component. Then we have Physical Pan, the Easy A. Why do we have Physical Pan? Because Physical Pan has damage reduction of 40% at the very minimum when attacking. So she already has 40% damage reduction, pretty high defense as well when she does finally attack, and she also has medium chance of evading, as well as 60% support. So Pan is very, very good, and a 2-turn attack raise. So again, give her a Whis, she survives, and she survives very well, and she does a lot for the team. The reason why we are bringing such very thermonuclear attack boosters is because both Gogetas have a very small window to do the damage necessary. So the Gogetas, the SS4s, the combination of the SEZAs and the two Gogetas is very, very crucial. You can get away with one Gogeta, I think, if you run double SS4 crew, but then you can't run Pan. So there's a little bit of a caveat there. Ultimately, I think you could probably get away with one Gogeta, provided you can kind of keep the team relatively the same. But then your big caveat obviously is basically that yes, you're relying on him to not miss any attacks, and you'll see quite a few of these units. How can I say? Quite a few of these units miss their supers because 15% evasions is honestly pretty big. So yeah, definitely a interesting situation, I would say, for the majority of this event to have this overwhelming fear of Gogeta. But like I said, with this team, you simply wait, have the team spawn in, pop the two Whis, and then you run off and basically cause a whole bunch of damage. It's actually pretty simple. So I think for me, it was really, really fun. B-Pan, like I said, absolutely clutch. Her ability to augment the rest of the attack, the rotation, and her ability to tank with the Whis active made our Gogeta do so much heavy damage. Like so much ridiculously heavy damage. And I think that was really, really good. Like I think that when you look at that, that comes together really, really nicely. Obviously, if you want to, you could use the LR, SS4 Goku and Strength Vegeta. Both are excellent and would also do a great job here, but they're temporary boosts. So I decided against using them in case people wanted to reference this video at a later point. I try to do that where possible because I think the temp boost units, as awesome as they are just very difficult to use in the long term. So yeah, but that is pretty much it. Honestly, that's it from me. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know if you need any more help, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Till then, bye.